Hi everyone, it's me, Mrs. Gronert, and this is lesson number 2 in how to make salt dough. This time we're going to learn how to roll out the dough and make the shape of a gingerbread person of our own. So exciting. Let's take a look at what you need to do. First, you'll use your hands to flatten the dough. It's really important that you use your hands and you flatten the dough in your hands before you set it on your plate. Then, you're going to make sure your dough is just right. Not too thick and not too thin. Notice this gingerbread is just a little bit thick, not thin, and he's not really chubby either. We want to make sure he's just right. Then, once he's just right, we'll set the dough on the plate. And then we'll use a pencil to make the shape of a gingerbread boy or girl of our own. A really nice thing to have is also a butter knife. You can use the butter knife to finish making the shape of the man and cutting off the extra dough. Let's take a look. Go ahead and take your ball of dough that you made in the first lesson. You didn't make salt dough yet. Go and watch the first lesson. Make some salt dough and roll it into a ball. Rolling it into a ball. Now that I have my dough in a ball and it's not sticky, see, it's not sticking to my hands. If my dough sticks to my hands at all, add a little bit more flour and a little bit more salt. It's very important that it doesn't stick to your hands. Now I'm going to flatten it. Watch how I flatten the dough in my hands. I'm going to take it first and kind of smash it down between my hands. Then I use my palms to flatten it out and make the dough a little bit longer and bigger. When I'm finished, my dough should be in an oval shape. And notice how it's about that big. I have kind of small hands, so it doesn't fill up my whole hand. If you're a grown-up and your hands are big, you might have it to be, you might see a lot more fingers sticking up. Here we go. Now look at the thickness. Do you see how it's not too thick and it's not too thin? Now, if you're flattening it out and it gets too thick in one part and too thin in another, guess what? You can roll it back up into a ball and start over. It's great. But now that my dough is just about right, I'm going to set it down on the plate. I do not want to smash it on the plate. If I smash my dough on the plate, the dough will stick to the plate and I'll have to start all over again. So don't smash it down. Keep it so that it comes right off the plate, just like that. Now I'm going to use my pencil to make the shape of the gingerbread. I want to start with the head, and I'm going to start at the very top of my dough so that I can get most of the length of the dough in there. So I'm starting at the top. I'm going to make a nice circle shape for the gingerbread's head. There we go. There's a nice little circle shape for my gingerbread head. Now I'm going to make the arms. And I notice that my dough kind of goes up here. I can use the shape of the dough to help me figure out the shape of the arm. So I want to make an arm that kind of goes up so that the gingerbread man looks like he's just kind of moving around. Then I'll make the other arm go however I want. Maybe I want that one to go up. Maybe I want it to go down a little. It's up to you. You can make your gingerbread go any way you want. Oh, I like how that looks. If you start making the shape of your gingerbread and you don't like how it looks, get off the plate. Flatten it out again. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. You can try a lot of times. It's fun to play with the salt dough. Now I'm going to make his legs. On my first gingerbread here, I really wanted him to look like he was running, so I made one leg go up and the other leg go down. I'm going to do that again because gingerbreads, they just love to run. So I'm going to make his leg go down this way, and then I'm going to take the other leg and make it go out to the side a little. The fun thing about this is that once I'm done making his legs go a certain direction and I cut off the extra dough from around the edges, I can move him just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. I can still move that dough around. So now I'm going to take my butter knife and cut around the shape that I made. I'm cutting off the extra dough and leaving my gingerbread on the plate. Now I can do something with the salt dough again. I don't have to throw it away when I'm done. Cutting off the extra salt dough, making sure that my gingerbread man is right there on the plate. There we go. And now what will happen is there might be a few little bumpy edges from the cutting of the gingerbread man. And so what you can do is just take your finger and push it together, just like that. Now, the last thing I want to do before I bake my gingerbread is lift him up off the plate. I'm going to lift him up off the plate. I'm just pulling him up. I'm being very careful. And after I do that, that way he doesn't stick to the plate when I bake him. Now I'm setting him down, and I'm going to do the same thing where I kind of flattened him out a little bit, give him a little bit better shape. There. And I also want to add a little hole at the top of his head. I'm going to use my pencil for this. I need to use my pencil to make a small hole at the top of his head so that if I want to, I can hang him up and put him on the door. I'll put a string through him so I can put him anywhere I want to. You don't have to have a little hole in the top of his head, but if you do, it's really nice. Make sure your hole goes all the way through to the back of the plate. There he is. My gingerbread is ready. I think I'm going to move his arms just a little bit so he gets a better shape. Now, what am I going to do with him? Well, I'm going to put him in the microwave. I'm going to bake my gingerbread in the microwave for 2 minutes until he gets hard. If you don't have a microwave oven at home, you can use the real oven, but you have to have your parents' help for this part. And I want everyone to check with their parents before they put their gingerbread in the microwave or the oven. Don't do it by yourself. Ask your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or maybe aunt, whoever's with you. Ask them if you can use the microwave and ask them for help. Because when he's done, he's going to be really hot and you're not going to want to touch him until he cools down. So once you've baked him for 2 minutes, leave him in the microwave for 2 more minutes before you pull him out. I can't wait to see what your gingerbreads look like when they're done. I'm putting mine in the oven now, and we'll see how he comes out. Then we'll get to decorate our gingerbreads. So hope you're having fun making yours too. I can't wait to see what they look like after they bake. See you soon.